6.3 ABV. I think it's called Goldstar because it's made with Golden Promise malt, and it is hopped with Simcoe and Mosaic, which is a really good hop combination in my opinion. Yeah, that's about it. So I had a little bit of this before. I like to do them, open them fresh to do the review for. But I got home like right before I was doing a fantasy football draft, and I wanted to crack something open for that, but I didn't have time to do the review because I had to jump on and do the draft. So this is the second half of this growler, but as you can see, it's still carbonated. So you can see, of course, a pretty cloudy, darker gold color to orange. It does have a smaller head, a white head, but it's not going anywhere. It's just sitting on top. It's interesting. Oh, that aroma's really nice. This reminds me, and I think Mosaic is somehow was derived from Simcoe, which makes sense to me. But this has that really deep, like overripened pineapple character that Mosaic has a lot of times. But it's on a little bit more of the danker side, which I think is, playing into the Simcoe. But it just smells, so it's not like a super unique smell, but it just smells super clean, like the just the perfect essence of those two hops. I'd like to say that I would, be able to smell this and say, okay, this is Mosaic and Simcoe. But I'll be honest, I don't know if I would really be able to do that or not. But now that I know that that's that's what's in it, and I smell it, I completely get that. Yeah, it just smells awesome when I'm going for a taste. Man, that's good. A little bit of earthy dankness, that big pineapple character. There's a little bit of like a mango note in there too. I'm getting like some cantaloupe up front. I'm not really getting like the blueberry that some people say that Mosaic has, but I never usually get that much with Mosaic, so I don't know. But really, the thing that makes this beer so good, like all of their beers, it's not just the hops. Like the hops are always going to be there, and they're going to be the star of the show, of course. But the thing that makes them such a good beer is the balance between the hops. The really nice, like bready malt bill. The body is just so pillowy and soft. And in my opinion, that's what sets their IPAs apart from everyone. Pretty much is they're not just great IPAs; they're great beers. Like just the balance in the mouthfeel and everything is on point, regardless of what the hop profile is. Even if it's not my favorite hop profile, like they did an all Amarillo IPA, and I didn't really like it that much, to be honest. But that's because I don't like Amarillo by itself. But everything else about the beer was executed perfectly. So I know even if I don't really necessarily, if it's not my favorite hop combination, I'm still gonna like the beer. It's at least to a certain extent because everything else is just executed flawlessly. And that's absolutely the case with this too. there's just enough sweetness to like to balance the hops, and there's just enough bitterness to balance that sweetness. But it does not finish bitter at all. It does not finish sweet at all. It actually finishes really dry, but there's no lingering bitterness at all. And that's, I always tell people when I say that they're the best IPA brewers in the world. Again, it's my one person's opinion, but it's not because they are making these crazy juicy beers. It's because it's everything that isn't the hop flavor, and then you throw the awesome hop flavor on top of it, and that's what makes it an amazing beer. And then, again, this is not separated from that. This is exactly that thing. It's really funny though. I was just drinking the last batch of Lou that they did, which is their ales for ALS beer. It's a double IPA that they make with a different hop blend every year that society, ALS society or whatever it's called, provides. And this beer tastes as big as that did, and that's not saying that this is boozy. This tastes like a 6.3% IPA. I mean, that's what I would guess this is, somewhere in the sixes. But that's how easy to drink that double IPA was. Because I honestly, if I drank those two side by side, I would not know. I don't think I would know which one was the bigger beer, which is pretty crazy because it's almost 2% higher than this. But again, that shows that this is nice and pretty substantial, and that just drinks like so easy for being 8%. But I think I mentioned in that video too, but I'll say it again here. Recently, I felt like I was getting burnt out on IPAs, especially hazy IPAs. But then I go and drink their stuff, and I just get sucked back in. And that doesn't mean I'm getting sucked back in that I'm okay with drinking a bunch of other mediocre ones, because that's not the case. But when I have ones that are this good, it really makes me seek out, like, in hopes that I'm going to get another one that's good. I don't know. Every time I have one of their beers, or one of their IPAs especially, I just don't get why there's no other brewery that can make them like this. Like the mouthfeel that they have and the balance with everything is just incredible. And I've yet to find another brewery that's able to do that consistently. There's other ones that I think are close, but they're always like just not quite there, or they might be there, but then that's only that one, and then the next one is like a little over the top in one way or another. But Brew Gentleman's literally crushing it like every single time with their IPAs. So yeah, I think it's obvious that this is definitely a buy for me. This is a one-off. It's not. They don't make it all the time. It's not seasonal. So I don't know if they'll ever make this again. They do still have it on tap now, so I guess I technically could get someone to get it for me again if I wanted to. But I have way too much beer to drink through to do that. But if I lived in Pittsburgh and could just drive there and buy another growler of it, I probably would, because it is really good beer. I think I like the Lou better just because I don't know. I guess the hop combination I like better, which is odd because I generally would love a Mosaic Simcoe combination, which this is good, but for whatever reason, the combination of hops in that is just incredible. And the fact that it's like 8% and they make it that balanced just blows my mind. But this is another really, really good offering by these guys, and I would definitely buy this again. And anyone who's not had their beer or had their IPA should absolutely seek this out, should seek out anything that they do. In my opinion, they're like the most underrated or unknown brewery that I know of. Because even the better ones around Charlotte, it seems like there's more people that know about them than know about Brew Gentleman. And I'm not saying that Brew Gentleman's... I do think Brew Gentleman's better than them, but the ones in Charlotte are also very, very good. But more people seem to know about them just because they're packaging. So they're opening a canning line supposedly by the end of the year. So that means within the next, I guess, 4 months. So I think the game's going to change in Pittsburgh when that happens because honestly, no one in Pittsburgh is even close to their beer. They're just not. There's no one that's even close. So if they start pumping those out, I think other breweries are going to be hurting bad because of that. But who knows? I could be completely wrong. Yeah, I think that's all I got in this one. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I look forward to doing the next one. Thanks.